Alright, I want to use this short video to talk a little bit about distribution law. So let's start from what is a distribution law. Okay, so distribution law basically says that if you have expressions that says A times B plus C, you have multiplication outside, addition inside, addition or subtraction inside. Then you could distribute this A into B and distribute this A into C and then add them together. So this will equal to A times B, A times C, and then add them together. The sign here, addition, comes from the addition inside the parentheses. So if originally there was a subtraction, you're going to do a subtraction. Okay? So that's it. That's what distribution law is doing. And then one common question I got is when does it work, right? When do we use it? So let's use one specific example. Let's say we have 2 times 3 plus 1. Do we do distribution? Well, you could distribute 2 to the 3 and distribute 2 to the 1 and add them together. But that seems a little bit overkill because by PEMDAS, by the order of operations, we know we always do the parentheses first and we take care of the rest. So essentially this is 3 plus 1 is 4. You do 2 times 4, which is 8. Right? By PEMDAS. Oops. You don't need any fancy law. So straightforward by PEMDAS. However, if we have 2 times A plus 1, so inside the parentheses you have variables and numbers. They are not like terms. You cannot combine them together. We stuck. This is when you use distribution law. And then by distribution law, you distribute 2 to the A and distribute 2 to the 1 and then add them together, right? So essentially you have 2 times A, 2 times 1, add them together. So we'll get, by distribution law, we'll get 2A plus 2. Okay, so in short, when do we use distribution law is when we have the form multiplication outside, addition or subtraction inside, and inside the parentheses we could not simplify anymore. This is when distribution law can come in handy, and then this is how you use it. Okay, and then last question is, why does it work? Okay, it seems like it's a crazy law. Like, why could you just distribute it, right? Doesn't make sense. So I would like to say any law in math, there's really a reason behind it. So even though sometimes the law looks very crazy, you will see more and more crazy formulas in the future. But all of them really have a reason behind it, and oftentimes it's really because of the definition of the operation. So I'm gonna just use this 2 times A plus 1 as example, and then try to convince you it makes sense, right? So okay, so let's think about what is the definition of 2 times something. So multiplication is really a compact way of writing addition. So 2 times something means you're gonna add that something twice. So this essentially is A plus 1 plus A plus 1. 2 here indicate that the A plus 1 will show up. I'm sorry, this is A plus 1. Okay, so 2 here indicate that you're gonna add A plus 1 twice. 2 times. Okay, so by definition of addition. Okay, and because this is just addition, so the order doesn't really matter. I could add A plus 1 or I could drop the parentheses, I could add this way. So when all the operations are the same, we don't really need parentheses. It doesn't matter what is the order you add them together. As long as you add all of them together, then you're good. So we drop parentheses. And the next step, we could, moving around, we could do a plus a first, and we do plus 1 plus 1. Again, because it doesn't matter which order you add them, but there is a fancy name in math. It's called commutative law. It basically says, oh, all the stuff you add together can commute. The order doesn't matter when you are doing addition, when all of the operations is the same. Okay, and then we could also do a plus a. We could add these two together, and then we can add 1 and 1 together, and then finally add together. Once again, essentially it means the order doesn't matter, but this step is called associative law. You do not have to remember all the names. Just remember, essentially it is like you can rearrange them. You can add these few terms first before you add the other terms. Okay, so a plus a is 2a, 1 plus 1 is 2, add them together is 2a plus 2. Okay, we did all of this by definition of addition, and then we go back to check, do we get the same result when we do PEMDAS? So if you look at here, when we do by distribution. So when we do distribution, 2 times a plus 1, you also get 2a plus 2. So they're the same. So hopefully that convinced you that distribution law is not something crazy. It really comes from the definition of addition.